Hey guys, welcome back to Ollie Talks Airsoft. Today I'm going to be doing the next part in my series all about fitting the Spitfire tracer unit into various cans. So I have actually managed to fit it inside this Angry Gun. I think it's an RC2 suppressor, or their tracer can variant. So this is the one that comes without any foam in. But before we get into that, I'm just going to show you the final bits that I did to the MP9 can, and also thank a couple of my subscribers. I'm not going to name anyone because I'm not sure if they want to be named, but you know who you are. So thank you very much for your advice. Funnily enough, I did have some aluminium foil tape in my little box of tricks, and so as you can see on the inside there, we've got some tape, and also on the inside of the cap. So I'm going to save the demo of that until the final one, when we're going to do all three shooting together, because you've already had a couple of updates on that. So this is what you're here to see, the RC2 can. So this can actually fits on both of my MWS uppers and also my Type89, because they all have Angry Gun suppressors that can, Angry Gun either brakes or flash hiders that can accept this QD can. So I did realise that they're all kind of different lengths, and because this back bit is basically hollow, they all sit at slightly different lengths inside. So you may or may not be able to see, but I've actually put one piece of foam. So I got a piece of MP9 foam, got some scissors, roughly cut around the edge to make it a little bit thinner, because obviously it's like way too big at the moment. So just roughly cut the edges off and slip that in there, and that there was probably like a couple of mils of play. So let me show you what I'm talking about. So we have our cut piece of spring in here. We then have the end cap, and you can see the black mark where I was aiming to get everything. So as you can see, the two halves of this still doesn't fit in the MP7, so there's a little bit of like bulging around here, so that's just going to have to go. But it can basically sit on there, nice and happy. And then inside here, you can see there's a single piece of foam, which is kind of just free riding in there. It's not held against anything. So what actually happens is this goes in, and there's actually, I should have pointed out, as you can see, there's a step halfway down just here, that line. So that will actually get stopped just here, and also when it hits the piece of foam, so it pushes the piece of foam back a little bit. But as soon as I actually put this onto a gun, then it sits really nicely. So then what I do is I've got the end coil here, which is nice and flat, and I've made sure that that's the bit that goes in here, because I don't really want to scratch up any of the lenses. So it kind of sits relatively centrally. It doesn't even have to be perfect, because actually even if it's completely off, you still get a good exit hole, but it naturally wants to sit slightly more towards the middle, so we'll do that, and we'll push this all together. So the inside of this is kind of already reflective, and it's the middle of the day at the moment, so I've not fully tested it other than just dropping a couple of BBs through it. But maybe if I can get something white here, then hopefully you can see we've got a nice channel for the BBs to pass through. So there is no reason this isn't going to work, and no rattling at all, and that's ready to drop onto all three flash hiders that will take it. So being it's the middle of the day at the moment, I'm going to keep working on the MP7. And hopefully later on I'll get to post a video of them all shooting. So until then, I'll see you on the next one. Okay, so the first two BBs I've put in are tracers to make sure it's working, and then after that it should just be blank BBs. Bit more gas. Okay, I'm reloaded with gas and BBs. Let's just try that one more time. Okay, so now instead I'm going to try it on my Type89 rifle. So I think one of the problems is with a TM rifle, they're quite efficient, so they're not really kicking a lot of gas out the front. Right, so try a couple of shots in semi. And that's fun. So I think we're all kind of hoping for that to be a bit better. I'm a bit disappointed with that, but I did kind of expect it with the Tokyo Marui system. It's really efficient. It doesn't kick much gas out the front. So both the MWS system here and the Type89 that I tried, it's still better. I still prefer it. It is still kicking a bit of light forward, so I can see the target that I'm shooting at is still getting some orange flashes on it. So I know that it's working, but I don't know. It would just, maybe it would work better on like a KWA or a VFC, where you often see like a lot of gas coming out of the front of the front of the muzzle, or out the front of the suppressor or whatever. I think that maybe would work better, but I'm not going to be swapping out, you know, my preferred gun in order to just get better flame effects. I'd rather have a more efficient gun, to be perfectly honest with you. And this is just kind of like, is this a novelty? And it was also just a proof of concept to show that it works and it can be done. But what I thought I would quickly show you is when I was telling you about how this attaches on and why I've got the piece of foam in here. So if I put it on here, normally there isn't any resistance, but right there, that's where that foam is just giving it that tiny little buffer. So you can then put it on, spin it until it gets into the right point, and then securely attach it. So it's, you know, it's a good can actually, and yeah, it is very cool, but it didn't have quite the flame effects that I was hoping for. So there you go. You kind of win some, you lose some. Let's keep going with the MP7 one. It is another TM system that I'm using it on. So again, let's not get our hopes too high, but at least we do have the cool star front to look forward to. But it's just going to be a lot more dremeling and a lot more. I've been using like 60 grit sandpaper to try and like get it down. It's just not going. But anyway, as soon as I've got that sorted, I'll give you guys another update. If you're enjoying this series, or you're thinking about doing this yourself, then maybe subscribe and you'll get notified of all my upcoming projects and stuff like that. And until then, take care guys, and I'll see you on the next one.